Well, what a match. Barcelona have beaten Athletic Club 1-0 away from home. Overall, an impressive result given the circumstances, but of course, loaded with controversy. And there's only one place to start when talking about this match is the VAR controversy in this match. And what I'll say, the one that has, for me, no debate, Rafinha's goal. That was a clear goal. It was onside. A great finish from Rafinha, rightfully changed from offside to onside with VAR. But obviously, that's not the one everyone is going to be talking about. Athletic Club's goal ruled out in late on in the match by VAR with the handball. My opinion on this, I think it was a handball. Obviously, given the circumstances of what's going on with Barcelona at the moment with the corruption charges and everything going on with the scandal and the referees, it's not going to look good. People are going to say this match was clearly rigged. This is the case of clear evidence that Barcelona are paying the refs. Of course, that's what people are going to say. In this case, in my opinion, I'm not a Barcelona fan. I'm not a Real Madrid fan. I don't have a horse in the race. So what I'll say is I believe that it was a handball. I do. When I saw the replay originally, I was like, what could they possibly be checking for here? It looked like a clear goal, but then I saw the replay. Arm was extended away from his body, hits the arm. I do think that's a handball, and I would assume that if it was your club, you would assume the same. You would want that to be called. It was a handball. I mean, it's just one of those moments that Barcelona once again get lucky, and sometimes when you're winning the league, you're going to need a little bit of luck. You're going to need a little bit of luck. And in this case, I think Barcelona got a little bit of luck, and that's kind of what ultimately might help them win the league here. So, outside of the VAR controversy, because that's obviously going to be a huge talking point, I think the right calls were made. At the end of the day, the right calls were made by VAR today. Whether you like it or not, I believe that to be the case because obviously there's going to be so much talk about the scandal, this and that. I mean, Athletic Club were throwing fake bills onto the pitch, to talk about the scandal and obviously that Barcelona are corrupt, this and that. Whatever. In this case, I think the right calls were made, but given the circumstances, people are going to say this is clear evidence of La Liga being rigged, that this title shouldn't count for Barcelona, this and that. I disagree. But in terms of the match itself, Barcelona were extremely lucky to come away with all 3 points in this game. And it's one of those things. I don't know how Athletic Club didn't score. Obviously, they had to go ruled out for the handball. But even outside of that, I don't know how they didn't score. They had so many chances. And there were some chances where it was like they have to score. It was easier to score than miss. And they still found a way to miss. And obviously, I give Barcelona's defense a lot of credit because they are absolutely incredible. You could say probably the best defense in Europe at the moment. Ter Stegen may be the best goalkeeper in the world right now. Some of the saves he pulled off, absolutely incredible. But there was cases where it wasn't even down to Barcelona's defense being good or Ter Stegen being good. It was just Athletic Club missing chances. I mean, at the end of the game, Nico Williams was right there. It was brother to brother, and it was a tap in, and he's missed it. It was easier to score than miss, and he's found a way to miss. And then obviously after that, Marcos Alonso, I think it was, with an incredible goal line clearance, basically just sticking his body out in the way. So I don't know how Barcelona escaped with all 3 points here, but they did. And so obviously Athletic Club missed some chances, but Barcelona, they once again defended extremely well for the most part. And this was without Araujo. To be defend like this without Araujo goes to show I think that this Barcelona defense is absolutely incredible, but I think also this system that Xavi is playing to help out this defense is working. Obviously, it's been working the entire season, and that's why they are on pace potentially to break La Liga records for defense, in terms of clean sheets and goals conceded this season. It's incredible, and it comes down to the system Xavi is playing. And it goes back to this point. I made this before on a previous video. What Barcelona are doing this season is not stereotypical Barcelona football. It's not beautiful. It's not pretty. It's not appealing to the eye. It's definitely not no Pep Guardiola football that we used to see with Barcelona back in the day that made so many people fall in love with Barcelona. It's not that, but it's getting the results. And I've seen Barcelona fans be critical of Xavi because, sure, they're getting the results, but it's not the Barcelona style of football. It's not beautiful attacking play. You're getting the results. I don't understand why you would be upset. I would take winning the league and playing a little bit more negative style of football, but winning games, only winning by 1 goal, 1-0, like they did today. But actually winning the league over finishing second or third, like they've done in previous seasons, and not in playing beautiful football, if you want to call it that. I'm always going to take the trophy. I would rather play negative football like Xavi is doing, and win the league, then play a positive, beautiful attacking football and not win the league. Give me the title all day, especially when you're going to beat Real Madrid multiple times in the season to do it. I'm taking that all day. So for me, I got to give Xavi a lot of credit. Now, will it last? I do think that Xavi and this Barcelona team is going to have to play better attacking style football in seasons to come because this is not always going to work. You know what I mean? After a certain point, people are going to figure out how to break down Barcelona. Their defense might not be playing as good. They're going to need to score more goals. That's the truth. But for now, it's working, and I think for the remainder of this season, it's going to work. So I'm impressed by Barcelona. And one player in particular today that impressed me was Gavi. You know, an incredible performance from him. It's one of the things. Gavi, he's just like a chicken with his head cut off because he just runs like crazy. He will win the ball back. He's going box to box. Incredible. He's got such a motor on him. An incredible, incredible player. And one player that's been too far scrutinized this season was the goal scorer, Rafinha. Did he start off the season strong? Of course not. He was very poor at the beginning, and I understood why Barcelona fans were coming after him. But it goes back to a point that I made on this channel just yesterday, talking about Mudryk in the Premier League for Chelsea. Players do not get the proper time to adjust to a league. People expected Rafinha to come in on day one and play the Barcelona way, adjust to La Liga immediately. And when he wasn't doing that, he wasn't playing his best. He immediately was scapegoated. He was saying, oh, we need to get him out, sell him. He was a waste of money. So far this season, 9 goals, 9 assists, 18 goal contributions for Rafinha. That's pretty good. And he's getting better game after game. You see why Barcelona paid the money for him. And you see that he is getting better. So now that I see reports that Barcelona are looking to sell Rafinha and replace him with Marco Asensio, that's the reports on the streets right now, I don't quite understand it. Because I don't think that's even a lateral move. It's one of those things. I think that Asensio is a step down to Rafinha because Rafinha is only getting better in the league right now. Asensio, he doesn't impress me. He doesn't strike me as, well, that's an upgrade over Rafinha. Rafinha, we haven't even seen him at his best for Barcelona yet. And he has 18 goal contributions, and he's scoring some of the most important goals for Barcelona. I think that would be a stupid mistake to sell Rafinha. The only reason why I would see it as a viable option is if it's one of the things like they don't have a choice because of the money situation where they have to sell Rafinha, and he's the guy that has to go. But even in that case, I would sell Ferran Torres before I sold Rafinha because I've seen way more out of Rafinha, way more impressive of a player this season for me, for Barcelona. So I don't think Rafinha should even be on the chopping block to go. That's my take on it. So, you know, overall, another player, Sergio Busquets. This is a guy, if I'm Barcelona, I would not let this guy go because I would give him a 1-year contract extension, not only because of the veteran leadership, not only because of that, but because, sure, is he the same player he once was? No, of course not. He's getting older. He makes mistakes. There was a couple times throughout the match where he gave away the ball too cheaply, but he shows touches of class, touches and moments of brilliance, like the assist to Rafinha today, where it's like, this is why you want Busquets in your team. Leadership, of course. He's able to hold down that central defensive mid position. He's done it for Barcelona for so many years, and he still has the moments of class, the touch of class that you want. Obviously, he's not perfect. Obviously, I don't think he's the player that should be starting every game, but this is the guy you want in and around your squad. And if I'm Barcelona, I am not selling him. I'm not letting him go. I would want to keep him for one more season. That's just me. If I'm Barcelona, and they might. There's talks that it's really 50-50 at the moment if he's going to stay or go. So I think he should. I think he should stay. But you know, was it a convince? Once again, Lewandowski wasn't the greatest performance, but it didn't need to be. They're finding a way to win, and you know now it comes down to Real Madrid next week in the Clásico, and obviously, before I get into the Clásico, I wanted to say Marc-Andre ter Stegen, what a performance today. Brilliant. Even making saves that, for me, I don't even know how he was able to make some of these saves. This guy's literally a brick wall in goal. If you're lucky enough to break down the Barcelona defense and create a chance, then you still have to get past ter Stegen, which is a challenge in and of itself. It's absolutely unbelievable because it's so difficult to get a great chance against Barcelona because of how strong their back four is. And then if you even are able to do that, then you have to score on ter Stegen, which is almost an impossible task. It's like literally a brick wall. And I think Athletic Club, they saw that today, how difficult it is to score on ter Stegen. At a certain point, I think it becomes intimidating because it's like, I can't score on this guy. No matter what I do, literally put it straight into the corner. You know, on 99% of goalkeepers, I'm scoring. But ter Stegen, he's saving it. That's what it must be like to be Iñaki Williams and some of these other Barcelona attackers. And obviously, when you do score, it ends up coming back for a handball. It's unfortunate. So now Barcelona set their sights on the Clásico next week, a week from today on Sunday, and 9 points clear. And what I'll say is this: if Barcelona win the Clásico or even draw, if Barcelona draw or win in the Clásico, they've won La Liga. I think it's officially done and dusted. I know I've said that before on the channel where I said that it was officially over, but if they draw or win in the Clásico, it's really at that point, it's done and dusted because I don't see Barcelona dropping enough points at that point to make it happen for Real Madrid. At that point, I think Real Madrid would pretty much pack it in and be like, look, we can't win La Liga this season. Let's focus on making a comeback in Copa del Rey and then seeing what happens in the Champions League. That's what Real Madrid would do. And for Real Madrid, if they are able to get the win in the Clásico, that's 6 points behind Barcelona. At that point, then it becomes, okay, we can actually do this because maybe a bit of doubt creeps in to Barcelona. And it's like, we can make this comeback because at that point, you need Barcelona to drop 2 games after that. And that could happen. I mean, given the way we see Barcelona play, sure, they're very difficult to break down. Their defense is really good. But if you're able to do that, this Barcelona team isn't scoring multiple goals per game, really. They're scraping by 1-0. So, if you can kind of get a goal against this Barcelona team, you have a chance. You really do. It's just getting the goal, which is the hard part. Obviously, it's why Barcelona have been so good this season because they don't get scored on. It's not because they're flourishing in attacking plays, because of their defense. So I could see Barcelona dropping some points. We saw it against Almeria. I thought that was pretty much, there's no way Barcelona could concede to Almeria, lose to Almeria, and they did. It's very, not easy per se, but you can hold this Barcelona team to no goals. And then it's just, can you score one? Can you score one on Barcelona? And I'm sure you look at their upcoming schedule in La Liga outside of Real Madrid and the Clásico, they still have to play Atletico Madrid, Real Betis, Espanyol, Celta Vigo, Real Sociedad. Not easy games. There's a couple games where obviously it's, they should win that quite comfortably, but not easy games. So this La Liga race would not be over if Real Madrid are able to get a result in the Clásico, and by result I mean win. But if I had to put a prediction on it right now, I think Barcelona will get the result they need, and that would be a draw or a win. Because realistically, they have the advantage. They can get a draw and be happy. They get a draw, they're still 9 points clear with the remaining schedule. I don't think Barcelona lose 3 times, and Real Madrid would have to be pretty much perfect from here on in. I don't think that would happen. So at this point, what I'll say, the Clásico is going to decide La Liga one way or the other. And I think Barcelona will get the result they need, and ultimately the La Liga title race will be wrapped up. But that's my prediction right now as of this moment. But, I just want to know, what did y'all think about this match in La Liga? Obviously, I'm sure this is going to be one that's talked about for a long time because of the VAR controversy and sure with the scandal of Barcelona. So let me know, did you think that the goal should have stood for Athletic Club? Do you think that it was rightfully ruled out? What do you think about this match in general? Do you rate the way Xavi is playing with this Barcelona side? Do you think Barcelona will get the result they need in El Clásico? Let me know in the comments down below what you think of this match, what you think of Barcelona. But without further ado, I'm Zach, and I will see you next time for another video on the channel. Peace.